You've been taught that kindness is your greatest weapon, that if you stay soft, patient, and forgiving, the world will eventually reward you. But the truth? The world doesn't respect the endlessly kind. It consumes them. Every time you stayed silent to keep the peace, you fed the wolves. Every time you gave too much, hoping they'd finally see your worth, you carved another piece of yourself and handed it over, smiling. And now, there's nothing left but resentment. The slow, poisonous realization that your kindness became a cage. You were never meant to be everyone's savior. You were meant to master yourself. Stoicism is not about becoming cold. It's about becoming in control. It's the discipline of the warrior who no longer begs the world to be fair. He simply becomes so steady, so unmoved, that nothing can shake his peace. So stop being too nice. Stop apologizing for having a spine, and learn the art of the Stoic. Kindness with strength, compassion with boundaries, calm, not compliance. Because the world doesn't need another nice man. It needs a man who cannot be broken. You remember the moment it began, the slow decay of your self-respect. Maybe it was at work. You stayed late, did more than anyone asked, hoping they'd notice. They didn't. They took your effort as expectation. Or maybe it was in a relationship. You kept forgiving, explaining, understanding, while they stopped trying altogether. You told yourself this was love, this was virtue. But deep down, it was fear. Fear of losing people who had already stopped valuing you. You kept shrinking, thinking that humility meant silence. You let others cross your boundaries because you thought that's what good people do. But kindness, when driven by fear, isn't virtue. It's surrender. And then one night, maybe in the quiet of your room, you felt it. That dull ache in your chest. That whisper that said, "I'm tired of being used." That's the moment the transformation begins. When the man who once sought peace at any cost realizes the cost is himself. You start to see that you weren't being kind. You were being compliant. You weren't being virtuous. You were avoiding conflict. That's when you begin to rebuild, not by becoming cruel, but by becoming clear. You stop saying yes to everything. You stop rescuing people who don't want to grow. And slowly, the resentment fades, replaced by a quiet power. The kind of power that doesn't need validation. The kind of strength that doesn't need to shout. The kind that simply says, enough. The Stoics understood something that modern men have forgotten. That peace isn't found by avoiding conflict, but by mastering your response to it. You think being kind will protect you. That if you give enough, stay silent enough, tolerate enough, somehow you'll be spared from pain. But as Epictetus warned, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you let people walk over you, when you let guilt dictate your actions, you've already surrendered your inner fortress. The Stoics called that fortress the inner citadel, the mind trained to remain calm, disciplined, and unmoved by external chaos. That's where real strength lives, not in noise, not in emotion, but in control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." He didn't mean be nice. He meant embody virtue, courage, discipline. A good man doesn't let his kindness be exploited. A good man knows when to draw the line, when to let go, when to say no without rage. Because Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotion, it's about owning it. You don't kill your anger, you master it. You don't stop caring, you care wisely. You decide who earns your energy and who doesn't. The modern world preys on open hearts without boundaries. It celebrates empathy, but forgets discernment. And that's why so many kind souls end up bitter. Because they give without purpose, they love without balance, they help without direction. Seneca wrote, "He who is everywhere is nowhere. Spread yourself too thin, and your strength dissolves. You become everyone's servant, but your own master." Stoicism teaches the reversal. To serve your principles first, not your emotions. To act from clarity, not craving. To realize that self-respect is the foundation of all virtue. The Stoic doesn't seek to be liked, he seeks to be whole. He practices kindness from abundance, not emptiness. He helps others because it aligns with his values, not because he's afraid of rejection. And when betrayal comes, as it always will. He remains unshaken, because he knows every insult, every disappointment, every act of ingratitude is an invitation to rise above the emotional fog. That's the art of the Stoic, not coldness, not apathy, but unbreakable clarity. When your kindness becomes guided by strength, it transforms. It's no longer a weakness, it's a weapon, a silent, disciplined force that no one can exploit again. Stop being nice. Stop apologizing for your existence. Stop mistaking weakness for virtue. Niceness without backbone isn't goodness. It's a slow suicide. You are not here to be agreeable. You are here to be effective. And effectiveness demands boundaries. The Stoics didn't preach passivity, and they practiced power under control. Here's how to reclaim yours. 1. Stop explaining yourself. Every time you over-explain, you tell the world you're guilty. You seek permission to be who you already are. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Stop defending your decisions. Let your silence speak." A Stoic doesn't justify his choices, he simply makes them. When you explain less, you project authority, and authority commands respect, not approval. 2. Say no with silence. Weak men say yes to everything. Strong men say no and mean it. You don't need to shout or justify. A quiet no is more powerful than 1,000 excuses. Seneca wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Choose where your time goes. Refuse what drains your spirit. Your silence becomes your sword." 3. Use controlled indifference as power. Nothing unsettles manipulators more than indifference. When they can't provoke emotion, they lose control. You become untouchable. Marcus Aurelius said, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." Detachment isn't cruelty, it's clarity. You control what enters your mind. You decide what matters. Everything else dissolves into noise. 4. Reframe rejection as training. Rejection doesn't expose your weakness. It builds your armor. Every disappointment is a lesson in detachment. Every betrayal a reminder to fortify your mind. A Stoic uses pain as raw material for growth. He trains his spirit the way a warrior trains his body, through resistance. So when life pushes you down, whisper, "Good, now I rise sharper." 5. Reward respect, not pity. People treat you how you train them to. Stop rewarding those who disrespect your time and effort. Withdraw your kindness from the ungrateful. It's sacred currency, not free charity. The Stoic gives from principle, not guilt, from strength, not desperation. Let your kindness be earned, because when you value your energy, others will too. Each of these tactics is a step toward becoming unmoved, not heartless but centered, not cruel but commanding. When you live by these laws, you stop begging for peace, you become it. You've spent your life trying to be the good one, the agreeable one, the one who bends so others don't break. And where did it lead you? Exhausted, unseen, resentful. This is where it ends. From this day forward, your kindness is earned, not expected. Your peace is sacred, not negotiable. And your time, it belongs to no one but the man in the mirror. Because the world doesn't respect endless softness. It respects clarity. It respects discipline. It bows to those who have mastered themselves. You are no longer the man who pleads to be understood. You are the man who moves in silence, acts with purpose, and demands nothing from the world but excellence from himself. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That is the Stoic creed. Control what you can, release what you can't. Walk through life like a calm storm, silent, unstoppable, grounded. So stop being too nice. Be precise, be principled, be stoic. You are the fortress now, the mountain in the storm, the one who no longer breaks for anyone's comfort. If this message hit you, if you're done being walked over, then join this movement. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to wake up, and subscribe to Timeless Stoic Mind, where men stop chasing approval and start building unshakable character. The time for weakness is over. It's time to rise with discipline, silence, and power.